Hello, gentlemen. This is Tudor Leonte for ComingSoon.net. How are you today?
Very well, thank you, man. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, thank you. How are
I'm
you?
glad. I'm fine. Thanks for asking, and I'm glad that you're doing well. The series, actually, this question is for both of you. So the series is titled Rogue Heroes, even though your characters don't behave exactly like heroes sometimes. How do you justify their actions?
Um, they were all kind of fighting for the same cause in terms of stopping the spread of fascism. So, in terms of justifying their actions, I mean, Jock was single-handedly trying to kind of stop the war, and he genuinely believed that he could do that. And so, yeah, they all had their own kind of techniques and methods of madness that maybe weren't viewed as socially acceptable in those times. And I think that's also what kind of brings these unique outcasts of society together, that these men, in times of war, they possibly would have been falling out of pubs or in prison. And then when the time comes, they kind of find their not because there's something they were searching for. It's just that kind of heroic status was something that was that fell upon them because of them wanting to genuinely stop the spread of fascism.
Yeah, man. Jack, you would like to add something?
Yeah, I mean, just on a kind of surface level, like it's not pretty, is it? It's not pretty what these men are being asked to do. Um, so, and I think in order to sway the eventual fate of the war, there needed to be a bit of creativity, because I think prior to this particular point that we picked the story up on, it didn't look good for it didn't look good if you weren't German, basically, or the spread of fascism was well underway, and that's what they were up against, and it was a big, ugly, common evil that they took on and eventually won. So yeah, in that sense, I would say it is heroic.
Jack, I also know that you're very proud of your Irish heritage. How was it to portray an Irish lad who made a name for himself all by himself?
Yeah, I think. Listen, I don't know if it did offer me any kind of better perspective. Um, I think what's interesting is he comes through the Ulster Rifles detachment of the British military, and he keeps one man very close to him, Owen McGonigal, who is a Catholic, and Paddy is a Protestant. And throughout history, those two fractions of Christianity have been uh, quite abrasive to one another, and so that was fascinating to me, and that was something that I could feel like I could treat with a sensibility, perhaps because of my heritage.
Alfie, your character doesn't like to follow orders but prefers to take matters into his own hands. What is it that you love the most about him?
I like the sort of the idea that he doesn't like to follow orders, but then also at the same time, he knows that for the good of the regiment that they need to follow orders, but then also that these men who are following orders should ask questions of the people that are following or the men that are giving orders. So that's something that I liked about Jock. Also, I kind of I came across a book of published love letters called Joy Street, and that really helped me get into the mindset of him and just see if there was anything kind of outside of the kind of military identity that he had in terms of his relationships, and whether there was any kind of spontaneity to that and any kind of humanity to it. And the book did definitely give me that. So yeah, I would say that I loved his kind of his kind of aloofness, but then also at the same time, after reading the books, knowing that there was a humanity to him.
Again, this one is for both of you. What is it that your characters, so rebellious in serving a greater cause, fighting against Nazis and fascists, can tell us modern watchers about our times?
It's a good question, that, yeah. It's a good question. I might need to think on it, Alfie. If you've got something that's, leaping out at you, mate, go ahead.
Could you repeat the question to that?
So, in general, what is it that your characters, considering their behavior, which we have already discussed, can tell us, modern watchers, about our times?
Well, yeah, that you should always ask questions, and that you shouldn't just be force-fed what you're giving in terms of, or what you've been given in terms of orders or in terms of information. Always strive to uncover the obvious, and to just ask more of yourselves as I guess not really military figures, that wouldn't be appropriate, but just to ask questions of your superiors.
It's a fucking good answer, that.
Yeah.
Won't be able to top that, mate. Fair play.
Sounds good. Jack, is there, all the series looks good, but I was wondering if there is any episode or scene in particular that you're particularly proud of.
One in particular. Again, I mean, listen, from a very selfish aspect, I just love the dynamic between Stirling and Mayhem, because it's combative yet cooperative in a combative way. So I just love that dynamic. I love where Stirling grounds Paddy like he would a child, just grounds him from missions and leaves him back at base camp, and just love this kind of like this almost petulantness that it seems to generate within Paddy. So I'm referring to episode 4, and I just love where that dynamic has got to by then, from a very selfish Paddy-based perspective.
I finished my time. I wish to thank you and wish you the best for your upcoming projects.
Cool beans, brother. Take care.
Have a nice one. Bye bye.